The luxury beliefs brigade sit in their ivory towers.
What happened to the tofu eating wokarati? I preferred that. We're a bit more like a gang, like an army. I don't like this luxury beliefs brigade. I'm not into this. I don't know why you changed it. It's a downgrade. Greetings and welcome. Apologies, I haven't put out any content over the last week. I've been spending time with family. It's been nice, and to be honest, it was probably quite a good time to spend time with family because the Tory party conference is on. I hate this stuff. I hate the speeches. I hate the false promises, the over-rehearsed, choreographed, all of that crap. Just absolute rhetoric. Nothing of substance. No authenticity. I can't stand it. So let's watch one, shall we? What are we doing? Let's watch Suella Braverman's speech, shall we? Let's take a look. Home Secretary, asylum systems in tatters at the moment. We're spending millions on hotels for asylum seekers. The police force is not dealing with knife crime. We've got an epidemic of gang violence. What are you going to do, Suella? Give it to me. Tell me the plan. If we vote you in for another 5 years, what are you going to give us? Let's take a look.
Now, one of the most powerful forces reshaping our world is unprecedented mass migration.
I disagree. I'd say one of the biggest forces corrupting our world is government corruption or multi-corporations or multi-billionaires earning record profits and us down at the bottom earning zero. The emergence of AI, how are we going to deal with it? Mass immigration, yeah, it's like...
The wind of change that carried my own parents across the globe in the 20th century was a mere gust compared to the hurricane that is coming.
Again, I hate this stuff. The mere gust. You know, these like hand signals and stuff, I can't stand them. I can't stand. You know that she's been in a room like 3 hours before with her script writers, going over it, right, Suella, if when you emphasise that point, if you could do one of those...
Was a mere gust compared to the hurricane.
It was a mere gust when my family came. Now it's a hurricane. You know, it's just, I see right through it, and everyone sees right through it. I cannot stand this stuff.
Even if we concreted over the countryside, turned our cities into one vast building site, and erected skyscrapers from Eastbourne to Elgin, from Hull to Holyhead, it still wouldn't be enough. Demand will always outstrip supply. I know it, you know it, and the voters.
I get what she's on about, right? Yeah, a lot of people in this world want to move to Europe. They want to move to the UK. They want to better their lives. We can't accommodate everyone. I get the sense of the point that she's making, but she doesn't provide any kind of solution to the source of these problems. Why are people wanting to move over here? Is it because we bombed the crap out of Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan for the last 20 years? Should we maybe put forward some foreign policy to try and undo that damage? Climate change. Your party have just gone back on their pledges for climate change, whether you like it or not, Braverman. A lot of people are going to be moving from sub-Saharan Africa, the Middle East. When it becomes unlivable, they're going to be coming north to Europe. What are you doing to actually solve these problems? Nothing.
In poll after poll, the British people have been clear. Immigration is already too high. Too many overseas students were bringing their dependents here to the UK. So we've changed the rules to...
Great, that's your big plan, is it? Asylum system in tatters, people crossing over on boats, millions of pounds spent on hotels, and your plan is stop students bringing their families. Brilliant. I mean, that will solve all the problems, won't it? I mean, that's literally all you've come up with so far.
To ensure that a student visa is not a route for whole families to come and live and work in the UK. And be under no illusion, we will do whatever it takes to stop the boats and deter bogus asylum seekers.
What? What are you going to do? You haven't given me anything. All you've given me is stopping families of students coming over. You haven't told me anything. Are you going to put more resources into the asylum system? Are you going to get more staff? Are you going to put asylum centres over in France so we can recognise the people that deserve our help to come over. You haven't told me anything. All you've just stood up and said, yeah, we're going to stop it. Yeah, but you've had like 13 years. You haven't done anything. Yeah, I know we've had 13 years, but now we've decided we're going to stop it. Well, what are you going to put an asylum centre in France? Well, we're not going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to stop it. Just trust us. I mean, you should trust us because, you know, we're in charge. So trust us.
Let me tell you, our country has become enmeshed in a dense net of international rules that were designed for another era. And it is Labour that turbocharged their impact by passing the misnamed Human Rights Act. I'm surprised they didn't call it the Criminal Rights Act.
God. Okay, I'm calling it out. People of the UK, people of Britain, I don't care where you lie on the political spectrum. You know, if you're for Brexit or against Brexit, if you wake up every day going, oh, God, you know, I really wish those immigrants would go to Rwanda. You know, oh, God, I really wish we could send them to Rwanda. You know, just put that aside for a second. And just think, if you give up our human rights, the European Human Rights Act, do you honestly trust this lot? Do you trust this lot to give us the human rights that we deserve in this country? Do you think they're even everyday things like workers' rights and things like that? Do you really trust Sunak, Braverman, to keep our holiday pay, to keep our 30-hour week, to keep Monday to Friday? All these things that we now have, you want to give up. You want to just give up our human rights so they can rewrite it. You trust them, do you? You trust this lot? I bloody well don't.
The next election will also be fought on law and order between a Conservative government that wants the police to focus on criminal justice.
Okay, great. Law and order. I wasn't that impressed, to be honest, Suella, with your speech about immigration. You didn't really tell me anything that you're about to do. I mean, this essentially should be a job interview, right? I mean, I know she's already got the job, but she's interviewing to keep her job. You should be telling us exactly what you're going to do. Why should we vote you in, Suella? Why should we vote your party in for the next 5 years? I wasn't that impressed with the immigration side. You didn't really give me nothing. But law and order, the second part of your job, police. Police have been underfunded for years. The staffing levels has been slashed dramatically since 2010. We've got an epidemic of knife crime. Tell us, Suella, how are you going to solve it? Tell us what you're going to do.
Justice. And a Labour Party that thinks the police should focus on social justice. Between a Conservative government that stands up for the police and a Labour Party that wants to see them take the knee. Between a Conservative government that wants to help ordinary people go about their lives unimpeded and a Labour Party that sympathises with the eco-idiots that block our roads and stop mums from taking their kids to school. And it's why we've reformed hate crime guide.
Garbage. I'll tell you what, these eco-idiots have done far more for immigration than you have, Suella. They're concerned about climate change. They're concerned that in 10, 15 years' time, we're going to have a mass amount of immigration coming over here because people ain't going to be able to live in sub-Saharan Africa anymore because it's too hot. I'll tell you what, they've done more to solve immigration than you have. All you've done is, oh, well, let's, students, they can't bring their family, and shove some asylum seekers in hotels, shall we? Yeah? Okay, that's how you've solved the problem. You're not giving us any solutions. Tell me what you're going to do. So, Helen, what are you going to do to make our police force great again?
So that officers aren't wasting hours investigating squabbles on Twitter. It's why we're making sure the police are not inadvertently helping mobs to enforce non-existent blasphemy laws. And it's why we've prioritised tracking down grooming gang perpetrators and getting justice for their victims after authorities turned a blind eye. It's why we've made sure that Prevent, the government programme that stops people sliding towards terrorism, is focused on the main security threat to the British public, Islamist extremism.
I don't think it is the biggest security threat to the British public. Do you know what I think the biggest security threat to the British public is? You lot! Maybe the police should start investigating government corruption. Then we might have a fairer society. We might all feel a bit more secure because we've got better police force. We've got better standards of living. That's my biggest threat to this country, not Islam extremism. You lot.
I have a particular message.
Just clap.
To those brave police officers who risk their lives to protect the rest of us by carrying firearms into situations where they could be harmed or even killed.
What are you clapping? What are you clapping right now? Please tell me what you're clapping. She hasn't told us anything. How are you going to improve the police force, Suella? All you've done is you mentioned Twitter fights and police that carry guns. They're brave, aren't they? Yeah. Clap, clap, clap. Yeah, they're brave. Yeah, they're very brave. What are you going to do? So, like I said, this is a job interview, right? You're supposed to be telling us what your party and you, as Home Secretary, how you're going to better police force. What have you told us? Absolutely bugger all.
Out. They look down on those of us who care about such things. Of course, they are entitled to their beliefs. But let's be honest, these are luxury beliefs. What do I mean by that?
What are you talking about? Yes,
Our politically correct critics have money, they have status, they have loud voices. They have the luxury of promoting seductive but irresponsible ideas, safe in the knowledge that their privilege will insulate them from any collateral damage. The luxury beliefs brigade sit in their ivory towers.
What happened to the tofu eating wokarati? I preferred that. We're a bit more like a gang, like an army. I don't like this luxury beliefs brigade. I'm not into this. I don't know why you changed it. It's a downgrade. You should have kept with the tofu eating wokarati.
Telling ordinary people that they are morally deficient because they dare to get upset about the impact of illegal migration, net zero, or habitual criminals. And you can be sure of one thing. People with luxury beliefs will flock to Labour at the next general election because that's the way to get the kind of society they want. What is that? They want, and they like, open borders.
Oh, fuck. I can't stand this. This winds me up more than anything. Anyone that is slightly left of centre when it comes to immigration is labelled as open borders. Have you generally ever actually met someone that is genuinely in favour of completely open borders? I can't stand this stuff. It drives me mental. All people on the left of politics, they don't want open borders. They want controlled immigration. They want immigration because they see the gaps in our labour market and they know the benefits that immigration has on this country and has on this economy. Okay, they know that we're dealing with an ageing population right now. If we don't do something about it, we're going to have serious problems with pensions in the future. They also recognise that, you know what, our bombing campaigns in the Middle East that have disrupted so many countries, Yemen, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, maybe we should hold a bit of responsibility for that, and maybe we should actually help some of the people that are affected by those wars, little bit of duty of care for the absolute monstrosity that we've done over there. That's all we think. I've met no one that is up for just open the borders, let everyone in. Drives me up the wall, really does.
The migrants coming in won't be taking their jobs. In fact, they're more likely to have them mowing their lawns or cleaning their homes. They're desperate to reverse Brexit. They think patriotism is embarrassing and have no use for their British passport unless it's taking them to their second homes in Tuscany or the Dordogne.
Yeah, of course, because you lot don't have a second home. I'm sure Rishi hasn't got a second home, has he? I'm sure he's just at number 10. I'm sure you do all your own cleaning, don't you, Suella? You don't employ anyone to clean. I'm sure Rishi doesn't employ anyone to clean number 10. I'm sure he's going around with a feather duster, isn't he? What are you talking about? Honestly, you're Home Secretary. You're supposed to be telling us how you're going to make the police force better, how you're going to control our borders. And you're talking about cleaners and second homes. You're talking nonsense.
Keir Starmer lacks the personality to lead this country effectively. Imagine what would happen if he became Prime Minister. Luxury beliefs would reign supreme. Britain would go properly woke.
Oh,
the British people.
Up. I don't want you talking about this crap. You're the Home Secretary. I'm sick of this woke stuff. Bloody Sun headline the other day. Apparently HS2 is woke. Did you know that trains are woke now? Trains are woke. Or trying to get a train line up north is woke. Every single garbage that the Sun pumps out, everything is woke. Honestly, again, people of Britain, people of UK, I don't care where your politics lie. Honestly, do you want your Home Secretary concentrated on this? Do you want your Home Secretary concentrated on whether Snow White is played by a Latino actress or whatever other garbage, HS2, trains are woke nonsense? Or do you want them talking about how they're going to tackle serious crimes, rape and murder? I haven't heard her mention knife crime once in this whole speech.
Labour is the party of pressure groups, rich zealots and trade union activists. But you know, the Conservative Party is also a kind of trade union. Because we are the trade union of the British people.
Oh, shut up. What are you on about? Oh my God, that was painful. That was really painful. Thing is, this Tory conference for me is like a massive advert for PR voting system, for a change in our voting system, because currently at the moment the Tory party is split into about 3-4 different parties. You've got Braverman and her GB News crew. You've got Farage trying to get back in with bloody UKIP sniffing around. You've even got Liz Truss. Liz Truss is giving a crazy economic garbage again. Apparently, it's all a good idea for us to borrow tens of billions of pounds and hand it over to rich people, because that's going to be a great idea, isn't it? Right, we're going to hand this all over to you guys. You're going to give it back, aren't you? Yeah? You're going to give that money back? You're going to let it trickle down? Oh, yeah, we're going to give it back. I mean, but this is the thing, one of these factions will take over. And the same thing with this party, what's been going on for the last 10 years, one of these factions will take over that only actually represents about 20% of this country's political beliefs, and they'll be in charge, and they'll run everything from 20% of what people actually want. Oh dear, it's painful to watch. It's just nothing there. She hasn't given me any substance. It's just pure rhetoric. She hasn't told me anything that she's going to do if she gets re-elected. And how she's going to do it. Oh dear. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If there's another one of these speeches, I hear Penny Mordaunt's was pretty embarrassing. Put it down below if you want me to react to another one. If you like the video, click like on the video, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. There's probably another video up there. You can check that out as well. Till next time. Oh God, that was awful.